you pick Virtus Pro to win, you're really going with your heart there, because at times nothing in your head tells you they're going to take it, but you just want them to. Regardless, retake A strategy headers.
Yeah, look at there's two people pushing out of the B bomb side. That's Neo and Bialy already sort of controlling that part of the map. So yes, retake, but this is working out great for Renegades.
And keep your eye on Snacks. He's got smoke, he's got a kit, so one thing they can do is if they can maybe just get a couple kills, find their way into the bomb site, it's drop the smoke, hop on the defuse inside the smoke, and then try and win in the craziness. These flanks are going to be huge, though.
JKS knows. He knows there's someone on the... He heard Bialy already, so he can call it into his teammates. If he wins this fight, that's big. Neo goes down, and they know that someone's coming out of that squeak door. Nifty's down and out next, though. So look at the damage that's been put into VP, though. Renegades have a great chance of winning this. You're still going to pick up a kill. JKS with one more, and you're still doing all the work here. And JC ending up with a couple of as well. So really good stuff.
Yeah, you feel like if that's going to be a retake on the A bomb site, because we've seen it so frequently on this map, it's been that idea has been used for so long. It almost feels like those flanks need to come in quicker, or I mean, not to be too critical after the fact or anything like that, but those two players flanking stick together so you can at least trade that JKS kill.
Yeah.
Because once he has the freedom in that A main, he took out Snacks at long range with just a headshot. So it's like there goes the kit, there goes the smoke. Essentially, that's the round lost right there.
Yeah, that's a good point. And obviously, Virtus Pro, I think they must have been feeling pretty good when they got that far outside of B, and they're thinking, you know, we've got so much map control, but Renegades almost had sort of the perfect counter to it. Now, Pistols picked up here, a bit of a boost going on inside of the smoke in middle there. But I think Renegades are, with this kind of a mid-control here, and they all seem to be sticking together. It's a good sign. Yeah,
and using the range as well. I mean, yes, they're going up against Eagles. We know how dangerous they can be, but just being patient, knowing that, you know, if Virtus Pro is going to make something happen with them, they've got to peek into it. Especially when you lose that mid-control as VP on the CT side, it does feel very uncomfortable, even when it's rifles against rifles. So this is a cool slow pace, slow everything down. Plenty of time on the clock. Don't make the mistakes. Taking a little bit of damage, but nothing dangerous.
I like the group mentality here that's coming out of the Renegades team. No reason to give anything away, and you're still right now just hammering those heads. That's a third kill for him in the round. JKS being allowed to get a little bit in there. And that's the end of it. Renegades up 2-0, and Virtus Pro gonna have to wait a bit longer before they can actually put up any kind of a real fight.
Tough part for them is going to be, I mean, they fully invested around and get nothing out of it. Pasha's the only one who saved, obviously, for the AWP in the 4th round, but it's not like what we saw in Nuke, where, you know, the saving Deagles from NIP got the 3 kills. This time there's nothing coming out. All 5 members of Renegades survived, so not even economic damage taken. So perfect 2nd round from Renegades from the Australian side of things. And this is where it could get dicey, because, I mean, just gaining momentum on this map can be so dangerous. And if you can put Virtus Pro into a weird money situation throughout this half, you can really start to pile on rounds.
Tapping away with that UMP in middle. Still playing fairly, I would say, defensive here on the Renegade side. I like the mid-control early on, but I'm glad that they're not just sort of getting carried away here. And I don't see any way for Virtus Pro to get more than maybe 1 or 2 kills this round at the most.
Right, and the tough part is as well, because this time Virtus Pro is not peeking into it without like the Deagles to really make something happen. Taz has one, and that's about it. They're just being passive, and they're just accepting the fact that they're not going to have information, and eventually just hoping Renegades has to make a choice and just picks the unfortunate one, but that's not going to happen. The one pick, and Renegades goes towards the other bomb site, away from the stack, and that should be it for this round for VP.
Now just trying to hold on to the rest of the rifles here and make sure Virtus Pro don't get to sneak away with anything. Still a deal on Taz, so it always feels good if you can get a bit in there. Neo will be going down fairly quickly, and now the rest are just looking for exit kills. So, what do you want to see out of Virtus Pro in the upcoming round as Bialy does pick up Ustillo? Is it going to be just a default? Do you want to see the default right away from Virtus Pro, or, you know, it's the best of 1? Do you want to just go full explosive?
I don't think you go like full explosive, but I think this is going to be a round where they're going to have limited utility on their players just because of the 2nd round bye. You almost want to see them get aggressive somewhere on the map and just have that control, at least contend with it early on, see if you can get an early pick. It's always such an awkward situation when you don't have all the smokes. Actually, as I say that, they've actually found a way to have 4 players that have, you know, plenty of utility, so maybe not fully investing in that 2nd round, but yeah, regardless, you do want to see some kind of play where you deny map control to Renegades.
I mean, they sacrificed some head armor, and normally we don't really mind that too much. But there's a UMP in play on Asa, so it's one of those things that could become unfortunate later.
Yeah, it really could. Or you know, Nifty if he has the AWP having to switch over to a pistol in a certain scenario. I think the interesting thing of this half for VP is going to be how do they handle mid? You know, how many people are they going to devote to that? How much utility are going to devote to that? Because even the mid-round hits in mid, even if you stop a Renegade's mid-control strategy early on, it's still dangerous to have 2 players devoted there in the mid-round because there's so many Renegades players that still have their mollies, still have their flashbangs, their smokes. So that's always going to be the big question mark for me on this map. And right off the bat, VP putting 3 players there. Some spam coming through, not doing a whole lot of damage. And Snacks is going to get aggressive over towards Vents.
Are they going to go for the boost then? Sort of feels like maybe they would, but still just waiting for a moment. Neo under the boost, no one there to really help over right now, but he's got Pasha on the other side, so they've got a pretty aggressive setup in middle right now for the Virtus Pro side, but that's about as fancy as it's going to get in the middle here. There's no real aggression coming out of a VP outside of this.
No, but it is a big devotion, and here's the good thing. Neo's position can sometimes hear information if someone makes a misstep. Snacks has a quick rotate through the vents as well, so they can quickly get over towards this A bomb site. It looks like that's a site that's really, really susceptible, but that'll get shored up quickly. Pasha can rotate as well up highway. Neo can either rotate or have a quick flank, so they're set up to recover from anything that's coming, and the nice thing is Bialy, the defender over at the A bomb site, he's watching towards door where there's 3 players.
Yeah, and you actually see Snacks holding a smoke in his hand half the time because he's worried that they're going to put in a Molotov from the other side, so he's ready to extinguish that if he needs to. Pasha seeing the head, but not able to get the kill. That was JKS up there, and now they're on the A-bomb side. Bialy, he's going to win the fight against Azur. That's a great kill, but immediately refragged by Nifty, and 4-on-4 for the retake here.
He was expecting some kind of information that hit was coming in. He was expecting some kind of smoke, but instead Renegades, just 3 players open door and just run out. You don't frequently have to go against that. He's got to be feeling a little bit frustrated and confused. Here's JKS on the flank as well.
Snacks is coming in, but he's already, I think, spotted out the one player that's holding in main. JKS actually knows that there's someone there, so not looking good for Virtus Pro at the moment. Nifty gets a kill on Taz, and now Virtus Pro sort of crumbling in this round. They just have to fall back here. 2 versus 4, the Balmos already so far ticked. Pasha has to hold on to the AWP legs. Nifty, he's going to get far enough away from the bomb, so it's not really going to matter. Snacks with the kill, but it's way too late in the day. Another round for Renegades, and honestly, another timing that just seemed so good.
Yeah, it honestly, because Bialy was rotating at Forklift, he was rotating between A main and between door, and he just wasn't expecting that to come out so quickly, and he just had a really rough angle. He got the 1 kill. Brilliant trade from Nifty. This is the kill that kind of seals it. Once again, much like Pistol Round, Taz had the only kit, so once he falls there, there's really no reason to go for it, and obviously as that round goes on, Virtus Pro's utility's gone. They don't have a whole lot for the retake. Looking a little bit scary. Renegades, even early on, you don't want to see this lead balloon too much towards 6 rounds.
Well, you really don't. Pasha in position with the AWP. There is one on the other side, so now it's just a question of patience here. Who's gonna let go first and go for the peak? There is a bit of a grenade to set it up here for Nifty, although counter 1 is coming out. The Molotov gonna be able to force him back. The Renegades can play this game for a while. Virtus Pro really can't, because they are running out of utility. They've got 2 Molotovs left and flashbangs, that's it.
And they've given up mid-control because they don't have that utility. They don't have the smoke for main, so they're just going to give it up over to Renegades, and then they have a choice to make, because they have JKS watching for the B push, they have Azza in the door lurking towards A, so they can split either one of these bomb sites, and it'll be Azza or JKS who really turns into a lurker. It just all depends on what kind of information they get, and Yustilo is going to be the first one to probe. He finds someone in the A bomb site. That's it. That's all he sees is Bialy. Doesn't know Pasha's there still with the AWP.
Look at the setup. This is a bit weird. Snacks is sort of on his own, and Taz, I'm not sure if Taz can really help out Snacks here if and when the push happens. He's starting to move a bit closer now, and the timing might actually be just perfect for it, but run and gun. You still are taking down Snacks, and no trouble at all taking out Taz next in line, so I'm not sure. It felt like they were just weirdly lingering around there, and you still are just a wrecking ball in this round.
The tough part that's set up to support Snacks, Taz has to play a really uncomfortable position with the CZ, and there goes the AWP. That's that lurk that Azza turns into when they go away from him. It's kind of the beauty of having 2 players in the extremities is, depending on where you go, that's how the role shifts for the other one.
Yes.
But Taz had to be so aggressive because all he has is a CZ, so he feels like he has to get close to A main to at least protect Snacks if they're coming from there. And once they drop out of vents, he's just got nothing. Now, I mean, that's a lucky shot from Yustilo. but he's going to get this kill. Taz, I don't think, is expecting them to come out that fast without some kind of a smoke or flashbang, and then pushing through those smokes. This is one of the good things for this Renegades lineup, despite their struggles, is they have guys like Yusilo, Azza, and even JKS to a degree are so willing to just be aggressive through those smokes. It's a little bit of what Pip was talking about. They're willing to throw caution to the wind and go for it and go be aggressive. They've never really lacked in that department.
You know who's excited right now, Moses?
Sponge.
Sponge, yeah.
I bet he's pretty insufferable back there.
Yeah, he's loving it. Yeah, look, personally, I don't think you should be celebrating too much just off one right prediction. I think you should keep your cool even if you get one right there. So.
Well, it's easy to say that when you've only made one prediction today, right? Isn't it?
Success rate 100%. Listen, most of the audience don't know any math. I can get away with this.
Yes.
It's fine. 6th round is coming up, and we do have 4 smokes picked up on the VP side, but this is really just sort of, I think, hope that maybe Renegades would make a mistake somewhere. I mean, sometimes when a smoke lands at your feet, you know, you just have to decide if you want to challenge it and run through or stay on the other side. But Renegades shouldn't be making that mistake here. They should realize VP are going to be poor.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, these 2 gun rounds have been pretty convincing for Renegades. Like, we haven't seen VP put up a fight quite yet, which is a little bit scary for those of us who predicted Virtus Pro.
I'm not worried.
You're not worried at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. Uh-oh. That's nice.
That's a very good job.
Nifty's AWP has been a pleasant surprise, I think, for this Renegades team. I don't know if they quite expected how versatile and effective he's been as an AWPer when they picked him up. Little game of peekaboo about to come in.
Pasha gonna get run over again. Yusilo doing a fine job. They've only lost Nifty so far. They should be able to recover the AWP. Bialy, don't see him making it out for too well. He's gonna get the kill on Azza, so that's a bit interesting.
And now the plan should shift for VP. They should just say the entire goal this round is to save the AWP. But the fact that they have an AWP and an AK-47 may influence them to be a bit more aggressive and see if they could get something to happen. But no, the Taz is just going to turn around. So that's the good call.
Yeah.
Is even though they've saved this round and they're going to have plenty of money for whatever they want in the next round with a full bonus, just why, you know, the odds of you winning this round from that far away is so slim. Just make sure you have it protected if you can bring it into the next round.
Doing a good job of that so far. Taz also getting a kill there. JKS and JC Walkings. Always a fun name, isn't it?
It is fun. I think Alex said he wanted to call him Jay's Walking.
Jay's Walking?
He doesn't like the Jay-Z portion of it.
Sort of like jaywalking, but...
Yeah.
All right.
We can do Jay-Z Walking. I don't mind that.
Can we just call him JC?
Yeah.
Is that weird?
It's a bit weird, but it's like a good weird.
All right.
Weird in a good way.
6-0 and leaving into the 7th round. And right now, Renegades just look pretty much unstoppable. You said there hasn't been much of a fight put up. Neo's got 0 kills. Snacks has got 1. Pasha's got 1. This
is where you want to see Virtus Pro like really play to their like identity. Oh my god, that is that sucks so much for Pasha. And Taz on top of it. This is the gun round. This is what they saved for. Already they're at a 2-man disadvantage. It's what, 15 seconds into the round? 20 seconds into the round? That is so brutal.
I mean, at this point, is it just a question of Virtus Pro just being ever so slightly asleep? Because it seems like they're sort of trying to set up in middle. They're like, all right, yeah, we're going to 2-man middle. And then suddenly they're both dead. Like they don't seem alert as they're actually in the firing zone.
Oh. You know, I honestly don't know what it is. This is what I was going to say about Virtus Pro is I almost want to see them on this map on the CT side because of the way this map is laid out and because of like the choke points. We talk about it frequently. There's plenty of room for aggression. You can almost play the CT side like a terrorist side to a certain degree.
Yes.
And Virtus Pro strikes me as that team that just, you know, they're at their best when they're imposing their will. So I don't want them to just sit back and get into a setup and wait for the execute. I want to see them go get kills. And I mean, maybe they had that kind of an idea somehow this round, and it's just unfortunate that when you finally get the guns and you can do whatever you want, you immediately lose 2 players. Bialy's can even things out, and they have a good read here. 2 players over towards B. It's got to be a stronghold, though.
Neo seeing the feet, getting the kill. That's important. They know where Snacks is. He's already picked up Nifty. Now with the flick coming in and taking down JKS, and he's going to have to stand up eventually. Azza still alive. Snacks ends up going down and leaves it in a one-on-one. Bialy versus Azza here, and everything is on the line, especially for Virtus Pro. They have not picked up a round yet. They need this one desperately. Azza's already got the bomb down. He's got a Molotov to buy some time. And Bialy's forced him out, down into the headshot position. He knows where he is, and Asa, what a headshot to take him down, the triple. And the Australians once again coming out on top, making it 7-0.
It got dicey for Renegades in a 5-on-3. That two-man, I mean, Neo and Snax read that perfectly. Great shot by Asa to just end things. Keeping cool among the flames. And yeah, now you just have to feel for VP. Well, I mean, they're going to have to really battle their way back. But this is the benefit of saving those two guns just a couple rounds ago, is they can buy again. And they can get Pasha with the AWP again. They didn't even get a chance to use it in the last round. So going to go for it one more time. Light on utility, but VP, they have to wake up here. And actually, they've done so.
Yes.
Aggression towards A main. So Bialy has the information, has the map control. You love to see that. Everyone's rotating off. Neo's going to join Pasha and Snax over towards mid. And Renegades just being very passive across the map.
They look like a team that's expecting even more aggression out of VP. They look like a team that's sort of waiting for someone to push all the way out, which VP have been known to do.
Yes, especially because this is going way back, rolling back the years, Henry would say. But you know, back towards the early days of CS:GO, like this was one of Virtus.pro's best maps, and they were one of the best in the world on it. We've seen them do so many phenomenal things on this with the aggression. Snax trying to dodge flashbangs, and he's going to time it right. He's down so low though. That's a kill that's just begging to be traded, isn't it?
Can't quite spot it out yet. That Molotov just messing things up a bit for them. He's going to flash his way past now. It's down to the B-bomb side again. And Taz in position. He's already seen that gun barrel. There's a great Molotov to buy even more time. He's going to go down to Asa again, winning the fight and getting the headshot against Neo. Everything working out for Renegades. Once again, clock is working a bit against them, but they should have time here. Virtus.pro, even when it's good, it's not good enough.
I was going to say this is the story of VP right now. It looks like they're set up perfectly. Great Molotov to slow things down from Snax. About all he could have done in that situation with 19 HP. And then they just lose every fight. Aza's got a tough spot in the bomb site, but he's got teammates covering him from everywhere. They've even got the flank, and Virtus.pro has to give this one up. They're just going to concede it. They know the only thing worse than losing this round is losing all their weapons as well. And with one kit on low HP Snax, they just fall away. Renegades up 8-0. It was so unlikely. But it's looking great for the Australian team.
This is madness, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
8-0. You're still at 12 kills. That's just very impressive. This early on and against an opponent like VP, there's gonna be more coming out of them here. I mean, they had the early start here. Finally, they actually were off to a good start, VP.
Right, and part of it is, I mean, you think to some of those rounds that they've won, you still have great impact in most of them, you know, with those 12 kills. But also the important thing to note is he's usually the guy going in first. He's usually, so I mean, the fact that he's winning these duels, winning them so convincingly, like getting 2-3 kills, building on them as well, this is what's leading them to this 8-0 scoreline. The VP's got to find something here. I think they're at that point where it's almost like they just can't give up more rounds and actually just losing another battle. Pasha, legs nifty. You could see he wants to do something for the team, and so does Taz, waiting for the spam to stop. Is that last bullet?
Yes, I think it was. As you said, waiting for the spam to stop.
And he didn't quite do it, did he?
No. Oh my god.
Everything going wrong for Virtus.pro in this match.
This is just quite incredible. But honestly, I mean, I'm not just going to chalk all of this up to Virtus.pro not just, you know, being quite awake. I just think Renegades are playing really great Counter-Strike right now. Like, I love everything about what they do. And it's you know, it's a nice mix of sort of like they had the mid-control some of the rounds. Now they're back to playing more defensively and actually anticipating the aggression out of Virtus.pro and playing into that. This is all really good.
I imagine, by the way, a lot of that would be Kassad in that coaching role, being able to talk and being able to at least let Renegades know how they should open these rounds and what they should be cautious of. And at the moment, it's going perfectly. This is a really tough spot. Bialy, he has so much to do with the safe bomb, so he's getting pinched from 3 directions. I can't imagine it's going to be too likely, and it's not. Ozza with a great headshot onto him, and Snax just has to sit this one out.
Nothing else he could do. That position for Bialy's, I think, it's become very well known that he likes to hold that forklift a lot.
That was like his spot at the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he's sort of gone back to that. There are some players on that A-bomb side who sort of tend to do that, right? They're almost always in the same position. So maybe they figured out how to stop him headed into a 9-0 lead in favor of Renegades. I'm still not worried, by the way. I think Virtus.pro fine.
I'm glad you're not.
No, it's going to be just
every other Virtus.pro fan in the world is clawing their hair out.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be. This is all according to plan. No one, don't even worry.
I don't know, Anders. It's because you haven't even seen anything promising out of VP on these gun rounds. Not anything to say, oh, at least they can hang their hat on they're getting the opening kill, or at least they can hang their hat on being able to get a main control. At least they can hang their hat on the oppers or, you know, getting a pick here and there. There's really not a whole lot you can point to and say...
They still got 5 people on the server, Moses. There's that.
The bar is set very low, Anders. That's a very low bar.
Listen, you know, every journey starts with one step. You know, just try and...
All right, Oprah.
Try and think positively. Oh, man. They just do not look very excited, do they?
No.
Being offered some hand warmers in case that was the problem. Do you think it was?
No.
Cold hands?
That can't possibly be the problem.
What if they're really cold? What if they're -10?
Listen, these are the guys
Celsius.
Yeah, that would be a problem then, I would imagine. -10 Celsius.
So maybe that's it.
I don't know what that is in real temperature, though.
Real temperature? I don't even understand. Nobody even understands the logic of the Fahrenheit scale. It's
very simple logic. It's like we do with everything else. We just wanted something to differentiate us from Europe.
Why do you drive on the left-hand side then? Like, why didn't you go all the way? Like,
we don't drive on the left-hand side.
No, I'm gonna say why didn't you? Like that would have been the.
I don't have the answers for everything. Maybe that's too much like Britain. We've had a rocky relationship with them in the past when some of these.
There is some tension there historically. It's true. Yeah. Well, we are about to get back into it here. Just 20 more seconds, and we should be headed into the game again. 9-0.
Yeah, now I think you're just going to see that out of Renegades for the rest of this half. And unless Virtus.pro finds a way to beat it, I think we're just going to see Renegades set up in those very passive defaults waiting for aggression.
Moses,
yes.
You were in the CPL. How would you make your way out of this one? Just imagine we're back in 2003 or whatever.
2003?
I don't know. Long time ago.
Long time ago. Yeah. Well, I know like so this is where you'd expect, like, every team has like a favorite strategy to run, right? Like on both sides of the map. Everyone has like that go-to strategy that, like, sometimes it's kept in the back pocket, sometimes it's used a little bit more frequently, but it's just like this is the strategy that we use on this side of the map to get us around if we need it. And at this point, if you're VP, probably should have used it already, which could be a worrying idea, but like this is where you have to bust that round out at the moment and just say we absolutely need a round. What do we do on the CT side that gets us most of them? Or you just hope and pray that Ustila doesn't spray you down through smoke in mid, and JKS doesn't get a last bullet headshot on Taz as he tries to make a play.
They've gone for the double up setup, which suggests maybe a bit less aggression, but if they can win just one or both of these AWP duels, obviously that's a way to get started. Snacks is over at the B-bomb site. Maybe it would, yeah, it looks like maybe they're going to leave him alone and put Taz in middle as well. So taking a slight gamble, I would say, on B, but then being much stronger everywhere else.
You have to put it somewhere, but the tough part is a lot of this half we've seen Virtus.pro putting emphasis on mid, stacking 2 to 3 players. Snacks has sometimes been in vent to be like that kind of third player who can turn around whenever they need him.
Yeah.
And it hasn't worked, but partially because Renegades in the gun rounds really haven't had to like do a whole lot of mid control just because they've been getting picked. So a lot of the resources that Virtus.pro have been putting to defend that portion of the map have just gone to waste. For them, it's all about getting maybe one kill, at least slowing the hits down so you can find a way to get over towards the bomb sites. They haven't had a round really where they've been into any of the retakes, right? Like when it's gotten finally into 3-on-3 situations or when a bomb site's lost, it happens so quickly that they have no chance to recover. There's a good start.
Still top frag of Renegades down at the hands of Pasha. That's what you want to see now. They're weirdly standing on top of each other. I hate to see this. Why is this happening? Asla comes in with a spray and follows it up with a headshot. And Nifty taking down Pasha. What did we just witness, Moses? Why is this happening?
Listen, that just flat out looked so amateur. It looked like there was no plan once Pasha got that kill and moved into the bomb site. 3 players sitting behind that box. There's got to be a plan after that, right? Where it looked like someone wanted to boost somebody, and they couldn't figure out who was actually doing it, and then they just kind of fell flat, all 3 in the same spot. And of the 3 of them, none of them were watching for just the simple run into the bomb site. This is frustration.
Yes, I mean, again, a round where You get that opening pick, you know what's coming, and they committed quite a few grenades, Renegades, already, so chances are they're going to follow through, and then...
You're also given the gift of Usilo running out with no flashbang or smoke or Molotov and quad for the Opera. You're given the gift of that first kill, and then you just fumble everything from there.
It's really hard to justify Virtus.pro losing that round, or at least the way that they did it. This is...
he even messed up the he even took him like 10 bullets to get it. No, yeah, I mean that's a perfect place for you guys to hold on to that defense. 3 players at the site. At that point, since they're not out yet, since Usilo was the first player out, why didn't someone rotate towards Forklift, push up towards Forklift, try and get a bit aggressive there, add an angle, add a crossfire onto things?
Myself, still not worried, but Virtus.pro are 0-10 right now. And we'll see if they can start to turn it around. I'm sure they can any minute now. Bialy's in A main, and it's another round for Renegades here where they're just anticipating a push.
And this is great because Bialy's pushing A main, but obviously he uses a smoke for the A main entrance. They had to use at least a pop flash or 2 to get him into A main comfortably. So that's utility used by Virtus.pro. Renegades haven't spent anything. They know at this point it's just Virtus.pro buying up everything they can. So probably going to have a couple players who are light on nades. So the longer this round goes out, the more of an advantage it's giving towards Renegades.
55 seconds here.
And VP has nobody in middle at the moment.
No, you're right.
Not a single eyeball on it.
Look at all the grenades being rained in. I especially love that Molotov that's towards the sandbags that's thrown all the way out there, because you see a lot of the time people will actually boost before they throw it. This one is so effective. 35 seconds now, and the Australian team bringing the bomb still in middle, but gravitating towards the B-bomb site. Snacks in position and taking down JKS, and they've left Taz in the corner. Is anyone going to come and check it? Taz will get one, following up with a spray, almost getting the second kill, but Snacks is still in play. Could be a triple for him. He sees a couple of legs there. Only 15 seconds here for the 2 versus 4. I'm going to call it now, Moses. Surely this is the round where VP finally pick it up. They're stuck on the bomb site. They can't really get out. They can't easily help each other out. They're locked in.
Yeah, and then Virtus.pro knows they're both in the site as well. So yeah, it's fight your way out or die, and Bialy's going to get the first kill all on Usilo. And that's too much coming at him. There it is. Like you said, comfortably, nice prediction. First round for Virtus.pro.
I called the 2 versus
I'm calling
first.
it now in a 4-on-2.
I feel like I had that, yeah. 1-10. See, this is it, Moses.
If they get towards 5, like, that's at least salvaging the half, right? Giving yourself something to work with. And this is what I mentioned earlier. Getting that first kill, you obviously have Taz there to back him up, but they slowed things down, right? That wasn't like immediately overrunning the defense. So when the rotations did come in, it's just you're actually holding the bomb site. You slow them down, allow your teammates to get over there, allow them to shore up some positions. And Snacks again going to go aggressive with his AWP. Not going to find anything this round. And again, similar strategy. No eyes on middle at the moment. So there's a little bit of a blind spot in the defense if Renegades or do something fast. Obviously, they don't know that nobody's watching mid whatsoever, but could be dangerous moving forward.
They've got, look at Aster and JKS, if you bring up the minimap, how far out on the extremities of the map they are. So just both covering either side. They can hear a lot, and they're going to make sure no one's sneaking in.
Yeah, there's not going to be any flanks. They have the information, and as like I said earlier, at any point, if Renegades decide to, whatever bomb site they hit, they have someone on that side of the map who can help them pinch the site, so the attack isn't just coming from one direction no matter where they go.
Let's see how this works out. They've got a lot of mid control. Virtus.pro have just given them that. Now, are they ready to defend it? This highway, once you give it up, you can end up in a lot of trouble. If Pasha goes down, then all it takes is one smoke for Neo and Bialy to no longer be able to help each other out, and then so they're weirdly fighting on their own. So I'd say Pasha has to stay alive, and he's going to go down to Nifty, and some counter grenades are coming in here. Bialy down and out, no chance at all, and what a shot! Nifty onto Neo, who's up on the E-box. Never stood a chance. And now Taz and Snacks here trying to fight it out. Nifty staying alive as Taz goes down to Usilo, and Snacks now in the C-connector just... I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, what can you say? That round, Nifty just gets the angle on Pasha over towards quad, and not enough flashbangs coming out for Pasha to repeat that. Great job by Nifty. They talked about it in the pregame. I mentioned it. He's been phenomenal as an AWPer for this team. A young player, formerly a COD player, who's really kind of come into his own over his past year or so competing at the professional levels.
Does it hurt you a little bit to say that? You know, like a COD player that's playing well in Counter, you like, oh.
Nah, man, I love it. He converted. He came to the light.
He saw the light. That's a good story. Everyone loves those stories.
You can't be upset at anyone for realizing their mistakes in their younger days.
No, it's true. We've got everyone deserves a second chance. JKS playing again, really loose style. He was doing this last round as well, just not afraid to take these fights and look in. Virtus.pro only have pistols.
I mean, you're facing a reset round where they won one and you just won one. You know they're going to be low and also up, 11-1, and how this half has played out. You're just supremely confident if you're a Renegades player right now. JKS maybe not even worrying about what weapon they're using, just thinking he's going to win no matter what, and there's probably no reason really not to think that at this point.
That last round, as soon as Pasha went down, you could just see the whole bomb site crumble. Like, there was almost no plan. The alley got caught from Squeak, and then Neo just didn't stand a chance. So it's a very powerful attack from Renegades. It's a very sort of well choreographed round.
Their hits have been much more well-timed in this game than we've seen from them in the past. It seems like they're communicating very well at the moment, where they have great comms. They kind of know where everyone is at the map and doing a very, very good job of keeping track of that. And more importantly, up 11-1, no one's really like overextending themselves, right? No one's trying to do too much, giving away a weapon. Sometimes you'd see that happen if you're up, 9-0 on a Virtus.pro or 9-0 on anyone, really. You get a little bit looser in your playstyle. And Renegades, none of that coming out from them. This has been, full focus start to finish.
Yeah, I have to agree, and that's a really good sign. It's one of those things that if you had to sort of try and predict the future of a team, if they can accomplish that and sort of not lose the focus, then gives you a bit more hope that they can make a deep run in a tournament like this one.
It absolutely does, especially considering or at least show some fight in the next best of three, right?
I mean, I would say, because what it does is it shows you something about the leadership. Like it shows you that whoever is in charge of it's Casado, or just in general, that there's someone in charge of the team who's able to keep the troops under control there. Neo goes down right after taking out Azza, so that's a great revenge kill coming in from Justillo.
Pasha even has an AWP back at Sandbags. Probably just couldn't even see that angle. He was kind of pushed up against the wall to get that trade kill, but still a little bit ballsy to go ahead and try and find that trade kill immediately. Smart, but you're risking a little bit there. Gets away with it either way. And now comes the tough part. You got Snacks alone at B, you've got Bialy alone at A, Taz pushed up in mid. So you're going to want a delayed mid control. That's where you want this attack to come to.
Unless they Molotov out Pasha here, he should be in a good position. Taking down Justillo is the first part. Taz hiding inside of the smokers. They are running back for the bomb, so he's not going to catch anyone on this side, but that could have been exciting towards the middle. They're a man up Virtus.pro. Normally, that's a good sign.
Yeah, normally.
Yes,
it could just increase the heartbreak, couldn't it?
It could.
Well, either way, I think Pasha's going to get a pretty good read on this because Taz is just pushed up in mid, so he can kind of leave that alone and go and support Bialy. The tough part is no one's rotated into the site yet. Pasha's doing it now, but he's going to have to fight his way in. There's the peek. Nifty wins it. Bialy here, though, grabs one. He needs to be traded, and he is. Falls off the railing, and that's the A-bomb site lost.
2-on-2 with 25 seconds here. Taz controlling the highway for a moment, waiting for Snacks to make the call so they can pinch onto the bomb site and try for a retake. They say WP, when you're out in the middle like this, it's dangerous. If you miss one shot, you're not going to get a chance likely for a second one. And JKS, look at the timing. Flashed in from a teammate, couldn't be better. And JC taking down Taz and Renegades now. 13-1.
So poised from this Renegade side. That's so smart as well, because they could have just guessed with that flashbang, but they wait until the utility starts coming out from the VP side on the retake. And I mean, even just to throw one more thing in there, VP, those two players didn't have a kit, so that was going to have to be a very, very quick retake once that came out. But the flashbang is perfect, and look at this, a desperation buy, obviously, last round of the half. Shotgun on Pasha, 5-7 and CZs on the other 4.
It's not desperation, it's determination, Moses.
Right where they want him still?
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. Don't know why you would be. 13-1, ladies and gentlemen. Renegades looking absolutely phenomenal here. First day of DreamHack Masters, and this is the kind of showing you've been just wanting out of Renegades for a long time.
Yes, but I mean, this as well as about the opposite of what you would want to see out of VP. This seems like they've given them a couple easy rounds here.
Yeah, there's certainly been some really frustrating rounds out of VP where they maybe could have turned it, but I don't know. They look profoundly lost on this map.
They do, which is very weird. And actually, I mean, Renegades look like they're a very well-oiled machine on this map. Like, they know exactly what they're doing at all times. And I think the unfortunate part about it is, yes, they're playing well, but this is not the best VP, obviously, which is why the score is probably going to climb to 14-1. Still clearing. No, they're not. They're not clearing corners. Got ahead of myself.
I should be. It looked like they were about to because they had 2 men peeking there. Bialy is still in the unenviable position of being in a 1 versus 2 here. He's close by at least without the defuse kit, so if they give him the chance, maybe he could make it a 1v1.
You'd better hope so. No one from Renegades showing, which is phenomenal. Nifty watching vents still, and when do they spot him? They're going to hear this drop down, obviously. Nifty's going to react in time. There it is, a 14-1 half. Ooh. That is beautiful stuff. 18 kills for Usilo. He had a blistering start. I think he was like 12-0 at 5 or 6-0. They kind of cooled off from there, but like that's all they needed, right? He was the jump start.
Yeah, Azza doing really well at 15 kills. Bialy trying his best on the other side. He's got 12, so he's sort of trying to make up for it a bit, but there just wasn't enough happening on this VP side. Understandably, they look frustrated, and they probably should be at this point. 14-1 is...
Let's not forget, this is an elimination match.
Yes. Just don't remind me. It's, I mean, but, you know, honestly, at this point, it's the level just isn't here for Virtus Pro.
No, it's not. And it doesn't, yeah, they both tactically, both in terms of their teamwork and how they're working together as individuals, even just the individual skill seems like a bit sluggish, doesn't it?
Yeah, so 14-1 with the comeback. Has it all been a show up until this point, Moses? Are they just leading us on?
You tell me. You're the one over there getting all hyped about predictions and all that.
If I call this prediction now, the comeback from 14-1.
Yeah.
How exciting will it be?
That would be really exciting. I'd get into it.
All right. Well, here it comes, the second half, and Renegades, all they need is 1 pistol round, and they're certainly going to get some favorable tweets from Chad, who's excited, obviously, in the back room, just watching this and being on a high horse, I have to imagine. She should be.
Very high horse.
Very high indeed. Azza in the back line of the A-bomb site, ready with the USP. Good range for it. As long as they don't get too close with the Glock, he should be fine. And he's got some backup coming in quick as well. They're not really hitting the shots right now. And Taz gonna pick up 1 kill. And there's the second from Snacks. Ustillo, he actually gets that one close range. That's not so easy. Leaving it in a 2-on-3. I love that grenade from VP, making sure the bomb can go down. JC charging through, almost getting the one on Snacks. That could have been it now. It's all on JKS. 1 versus 3. He's made enough noise. They know where he is. Pasha's going to be able to do it.
And so it begins, Anders.
Yes.
They keep it simple on the Pistron, just a standard A execute. And actually, it was Renegades doing a little bit of a tricky, a little bit of the bait, and the second player hiding in quad, not showing himself whatsoever, wanting his teammate to fall so he could surprise a couple. That's him 1 more kill. You got to imagine if Jay-Z gets that kill on the planter a little bit quicker, they might be able to salvage it. Either way, 14-2. This is smart. I like this. And I know, you know, a lot of analysts and color commentators would really appreciate this, is Renegades up this big, not investing a whole lot into this round. You have so much time to play with it. Don't make it harder by putting yourself in an economic like black hole really early on in this. Make sure your first buy has all the nades you could want. Azza not sticking to script, but, you know, it's okay.
Yeah, I suppose the philosophy is that if this one is going to go all 30 rounds by some miracle, then you want as many of those rounds to be rifle rounds for your team, yes. Right? You don't want to have a lot of weird half buys where you didn't really have like the best chance possible. So yeah, there's a lot of sense behind this. They will be cleaned up fairly easily here. Taz the only one to go down, and we're at 14-3. Can you feel it, Moses? Do you feel that? I feel that comeback feeling in your stomach.
Yeah. I really enjoy it. I hope it continues. It's like the sensation of when you're dreaming you're falling. That whole sensation.
Yeah. Most people say they wake up by the end of it, but I have many dreams where
I've made it to the bottom.
I've made it to the bottom as well a couple of times. I don't know what that means. We'll have Twitter or some other platform analyze our dreams later. Neo.
Oh God, Neo got juked.
Yeah, he's going to be sent to sleep right away. Snacks with a couple of returns, but this is still A bit unacceptable here from Virtus Pro. There's something that Renegades did so well when they were on the T side, just controlling any kind of push here. It's a good job on Pasha, but still, you don't want to see too much of that.
No, I mean, Neo obviously wants to just run backwards with that flashbang and then peek with it, or just get away and have it slow him down. But as he turns, he sees a CT, so he feels like he has to commit to the fight and just blinds himself. So a little bit of damage done, not too bad though, and obviously on the T side you can manage that a little bit better. The help of the MAC-10 kills and the UMP kill, going to get some bonus money. Long way to go, and right off the bat, the AWP is going to be out for the CT side. Double AWP, in fact. JKS drops one over towards Nifty, who's got full nades. They've got kits, and JKS, I assume, would have an M4. JZ walking is going to be second drop.
Yeah, I think this is great for Renegades. You know, they've let them just breathe a little bit, and now here comes the sledgehammer, the double AWP, almost Pasha opening up the round. That was very close, but not going to be able to. Instead, JKS close to middle, trying to control that. Very aggressive setup, this one. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's almost where you want to calm down a little bit, especially with JKS and Vents, is you have this big lead. Yeah, you can play around and get a little bit overly aggressive, but not too much, and that was overeager. Good that he fell back with that flashbang coming out. All 5 members of Virtus Pro here, they give up all map control. So essentially, this early in the round, they've already dictated they're going to the B bomb site. There's no real chance of them falling back past, the 1 minute mark. They'd have to clear too much.
JKS and Vents, Justillos also rotated in. Renegades have such an incredible read on this round. JC gonna miss the shot early on. Justillo gets one, and JKS from the Vents. This is working out very well, at least for the moment. JKS looking for the one on Bialy. That's gonna be the bomb dropped as well, so picked up by Pasha in the meantime. A bit of a chance for a fight here for Virtus Pro still with 45 seconds left.
Snack still hasn't got into the action. He's all the way back in Sunroom still. He's trying to keep some player pinned in towards Checkers. That's JKS, but it's not working. He's already out. Snacks has to get into it because Pasha has nothing he can do from inside the site. 3 players initially on the defense for Renegades, 3 players here now, and he's coming in late. Snacks trying to find one as the bomb gets planted.
He's scoped up. He can't really scope too much now because there's a chance that JKS will hear it, but as Pasha goes down, there's a lot of trouble here for Snacks. He misses one shot, and it's going to be 15 for Renegades. He fires it a single time, and he's completely lost here. He gets JKS, but they're behind the box, already defusing, and he can do nothing to save the round. 15 for Renegades.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that overly passive play we mentioned because the bomb had to be planted there. Pasha couldn't plant it safely anywhere else once he was surrounded. That's the only option he had. And Snacks just taking so long to make a move. Regardless, though, like a sick read from Renegades. Yeah, that's beauty. But still, I mean, they had JKS and Vents. They had 2 players, one in A, one at the top of Highway, so they knew nothing was coming A. They didn't hear anything. That's just a huge commit from Virtus Pro at the B bomb site so early on that Renegades was completely comfortable in their stack set up towards the B bomb site.
You have to wonder exactly what gave them that read to put Justillo over there as well, because that's a big risk.
I don't even think it was a read. I think it's just because they didn't feel pressure anywhere, to be honest with you. Like they didn't feel any in mid. JKS was watching that. They didn't have any nades going over. They didn't have any presence on boost. No real flashbangs coming over. Same over towards the A bomb site. They just said, all right, let's just go towards B. I mean, a little bit of a guess, perhaps.
Would have worked out beautifully for them. 1 round away from eliminating Virtus Pro here at DreamHack Masters. Who would have thought that? Right away. 0-2, yes indeed. They have been looking very questionable lately. There's been some spikes, some individual spikes where they look exciting, but it's usually 1 map or something, and then it sort of goes away a bit. Again, obviously at the major we had some excitement coming out of them, but that still was not enough here. Snack's gonna get the headshot, taking down Nifty. Through a wall as well, but he gets dropped right afterwards, trying to chase down Azza. Still, this B bomb side is pretty much open for the taking.
I don't think there's anything that Renegades can do to stop this, and this might just be a save call if they don't get a kill really soon to even this up, because the bomb's going to go down. Justillo's on his way, and I actually wouldn't even mind if they decided to save these guns already at this point, and they are going to. So they're going to bail out right off the bat. Nice round from VP, this time applying a little bit of pressure towards mid with Snacks, and then rotating over towards the B bomb site. And that's something I believe last time I heard, and even at the major, Snacks was the in-game leader at the moment for Virtus Pro, because they're known to kind of shuffle it between 3 players, right? It's usually Snacks, Neo, or Taz.
Yes, and I mean, even for a while, I think it was just Neo and Taz, and then like, a year ago or something, Snacks started to sort of get into it a bit more. I
think this most recent run was Taz, and then they switched it over to Snacks leading in the major.
Personally, I say let Neo do it, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I would like that as well, especially because that's Snacks like that. That's the kind of play that he can do that I don't think there's anyone else on this team that can really do that is, you know, caution to the wind, go out mid, get towards connector very, very early on. That's a huge risk to make, and obviously it's easier to make that when you're down this much. But still, that one kill he gets in connector is massive, and almost even a second one.
Yeah, I would say his intuition for the game is so high that you want his mind to only be on that and really not be on anything else. And when you're the game leader, you are going to have your teammates' positions much more on your mind than you normally would be. Nifty going for a very risky shot at the edge of the smoke there outside of the B-bomb site. And this time, Bialy going to be able to punish him.
JZ is hungry for that AWP. So I'm going to shorten his name.
Yes, I mean, we've got to come up with something. I'm sure there are people tweeting at us saying, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, there it is, almost the timing with Usilo, not able to get it, and now the tough part is they're in for a punish. They know two players there, they're being held back. That flashbang actually does a lot of work. That follow-up Molotov could do a bunch as well. Pasha's got to be careful. And now Usilo's going to get out, and there it is, it burns him alive, 100-0.
Whoa, wow. There was no one next to him that could actually smoke him out. That's so unfortunate. And as that comes in, it takes a while, but he's going to be able to take down Bialy. This just might be it. They're 4 versus 3 right now. And Renegades, even in this round where it looked like they were about to get caught, fight their way back out of it.
And you can see the stock over at the B bomb site, right? That's because Alzo was being aggressive towards A. He had a lot of space, and then they were aggressive in mid as well. So they had all the information that no one was at A, and they were clumped up in mid. So you think the kind of logical idea is that they'll just transfer over towards B after that A aggression. That's why they have 2 players there. Not busting it up quite yet. Usilo is rotating over, but it's on Alzo first, and he goes down.
Taz with almost a running headshot here. You still are going to get one. They practically line up for him. That could have been dangerous. The grenade going to come in. Is it going to do enough damage? Taz is far enough away and actually gets clipped, I think, by the container. Otherwise, that could have been very interesting. Taz now, 1 bullet away from death. He has to stay alive with the forklift. Otherwise, Neo's going to be trapped on the bomb site. And he's actually in a very questionable position right now, Neo. I sort of wish that he was a bit further back because he can definitely get caught at that close range. He gets the kill on JC. That's a good start. And now they're just going to play hide and seek with JKS.
I really bet they wish they had that HE grenade for forklift at the moment. JKS pushing up, and he's out in the open. Great mobility by Neo, switching up his position. A triple kill for him on the round. That's the 6th for VP. Still a long way to go, but I think they're going to have an easier time of it here. I think they've finally taken the money, taken the rifles away from Renegades. So a little bit of a breathe easy moment, I guess.
Yes, 1 round at a time, I think is the mantra that we always talk about in these situations. Just don't worry about the scoreline.
It's difficult to do that, though.
Easier said than done?
Yeah, it's one of those things. One of those things, especially when you have a 14-1 half.
Well, listen, I'm not worried, Moses. I don't know why
I don't know why you aren't either.
This is all fine.
This is the game plan.
Yeah, exactly. Done a good job in this round clearing out the most likely corners, just in case there was going to be a huge stack here with the C said, as it would have been all burned out more or less as in the smoke. And when that fades, his chances will as well. He's going to be taking down Snacks though and escaping back through it, trying to see if he can get a bit more out of the round. It's now 7-15. Bialy, look at, I mean, they're so far behind. Bialy's got 20 kills. He's just 3 behind Ustillo and 1 behind Asa. It's not bad.
That's a quiet, I feel, 20 kills from Bialy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not been very flashy, but I think he's been getting the kills sort of fairly consistently.
I think a lot of it stems from he had a couple rounds on the CT side where it was a little bit unlucky as well. So you start feeling like, you know, he's not having a whole lot of impact just because of timing, but obviously switching over, he's done very, very well. Guns out again for Renegades. They liked the double op early on, but they can't afford it. So 4 M4s, the UMP, Nifty's also got the kit. And a standard setup, essentially. Nifty and Aza over towards the A-bomb site, Ustillo on highway. 2 over towards the B-bomb site. And this time it's Taz who's going to get aggressive in mid, slowly working his way. They've seen no presence of the defense here, so he's got an avenue to look up towards the A-bomb site.
And Ustillo's going to be the one on A to sort of keep an eye on that and make sure no one sort of gets out of control. That's a deep flashbang into the middle to try and follow it up with a peek there. Asla gets 1 on Pasha, but there is a refrag. That could have worked out very well for Renegades. I think they could have actually maybe got both those kills. Yeah,
really cool idea. Shame they don't get more, but now all the defense falls onto JZ Walker. There's another pop flash. It's beautiful. Great proactive defense, and he's got to transfer, and somehow he gets Bialy blind.
Unbelievable. Bialy was even the second man in through the vent, and he's still caught the bullet right in his face. Taz is low on health, and this just might be the end of the road here for Virtus.pro. They're in a 2-on-3. They've only got 30 seconds left here to try and make it onto the site. They're using the Molotovs, burning out JKS. He goes down to Taz somehow, and now it's a 2-on-2. 25 seconds here. One Molotov could finish Taz. Nifty going to be walking in, but Neo with the headshot, and now you still are in a 1-on-2. What the hell is going on?
Neo's internal clock there is so perfect. Just knowing when he needs to turn around, check the flank, be sure of it. Snapping over out in the open though, don't need to do that. Now you've left Taz in a really uncomfortable spot, one-on-one.
He's got the triple, but he's also only got 7 health left, and you're still gotta be able to transfer on to him. That's 16-7 here. He does have 10-second defuse, but it's not gonna matter. Renegades knocking Virtus.pro out of the tournament. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that really is unbelievable, especially the fashion of it.